Hi again. Last time I was with you, I was teaching you while I learned how to make a salsa garden. And today I'm doing something that I never imagined that I would do, and that is pitting cherries. I know when I was growing up and all through college, and my grandmother used to pit cherries in one of the big silver things, and it just kind of made a mess with the cherries, and the cherries got all mashed up. And I found something at Johnson's that pits the cherries and leaves them whole. It just takes the cherry out, or the pit out, and you have a whole cherry. So it's clean and it looks pretty, so your pies have the whole cherries. So I'll show you my discovery. You just put the cherries in there. You punch it down. Oops. And out comes the cherries without the pit. It's just really a neat little contraption. It's lightweight. It's every once in a while a cherry will get caught, and I have to coax it out with my finger, but for the most part, this is just like the easiest thing. And I've already done a couple of them. So what I'm doing today is making freezer jam, and that's something else I never ever thought that I would do. I used to watch my grandma make jam, and I thought it was way too much work, so I just said I would never do that. But here I am, and you and I are going to learn how to make it together. So I've pitted my cherries. I've actually just finished making two 1.5 jars of the freezer jam with the cherries. So I wanted to go through and show you how to make it. So first we have the cherries in a bowl. We'll get rid of the cherry pitter because we are done with that. So we have the cherries in the bowl, and we need to mash them. So I have my little Cuisinart here. Put them in there. I've already mashed 1 1/3 cups, and I need another 1/3 cup, so we have 1 2/3 cups. So stirred those up a little bit. Put this in the container for the 1/3 cup. So we have 1 1/3 and 1/3, and that's our 1 2/3 cup of fruit. So we have our fruit. There's a lot of different kinds of pectins out. I didn't know that. I thought that there was only one kind of pectin, and that was just the old-fashioned kind. And of course they do have that. It's the classic pectin. This is the instant pectin that we'll be doing today to make the freezer jam. I didn't know that existed, so we'll be using that. But they also have a low or no sugar needed pectin. So for those who don't want white sugar, can use this alternative. This one that we're going to use is the instant pectin. And you can also use this with Splenda. I personally like stevia. And I need to do some research to see if you can use stevia with this. Of course, you wouldn't need to use near as much, so I would have to find a conversion. But this one is going to be the instant pectin. We are going to do that with regular white sugar today. So I have my 2/3 cup of sugar that I'd already measured out, just plain white sugar. And then we're going to put in 2 tablespoons of the instant pectin. There's 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. I'm going to stir it up a little bit. Now we're going to add our fruit. Alright, so we have our fruit. That's it. Now we just need to stir it for 3 minutes. Okay, we've stirred this for 3 minutes now. That's it. All we need to do now is put it in our containers. We want to make sure that we put it in freezer containers. So today I've got the plastic ones instead of the jar normal ones that you think of for canning. but we're going to put them in freezer containers. These are a little large for freezer jam, but I couldn't find smaller ones, so today we'll just have to use these. We'll ladle it into the container. And once we ladle it into the container, we have to let it set for 30 minutes, and then we can actually eat it. Or you can just go ahead and put it in the freezer and have it at your leisure later on, but we need to make sure that we do let it set for 30 minutes so it sets up into a nice jam. Now you can use this with other kinds of fruit that you've got in your garden or your yard. All kinds of fruit, any kind of fruit that you'd like to make a jam out of, you can do that. You don't even have to grow your own. You can go to the store and buy whatever kind of fruit you like and use this instant pectin and prepare the fruit and do the instructions as the container says, and you have a jam within 30 minutes after you've put it in your containers. So this is our freezer jam. It was as easy as that with our cherry pitter. It's the Deluxe Nor Pro is what I used. So we have that. You can also freeze fruit. Use 1 part sugar or Splenda with 4 parts fruit. All you do is mix it together, put it in a freezer bag, and you have frozen fruit. So you can do that with store-bought or homegrown. So that's our learning lesson for today of pitting cherries and making freezer jam, which was really easy. I hope you learned right along with me.